Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Well, my brain is still in the mode of focusing on Christmas, but also focusing on Hanukkah. Hanukkah actually starts before Christmas and runs up to, I think it starts the 25th day of Kislev, if you're looking at your Judaic calendar. But Hanukkah is something that struck me because of the stones of the temple are akin to the kind of stone that we're building with right now in a building project we've got. And I was thinking about the temple itself and the origin of Hanukkah as a celebration. And I talked in class last week about how Jesus celebrated Hanukkah, and we read about that in John chapter 10. But the Hanukkah celebration itself is really neat in some of the things it has to say. So the root of the celebration is the occupation of Jerusalem by basically Greek thinkers who wanted to take Judaism from its ancient Hebrew roots and turn it into a Greek religion. And so they desecrated the temple. They sacrificed a pig to Zeus in the temple grounds. And when, as a result of the Maccabean revolt in the 160s BC or BCE, as a result of that, Israel, the Jews, were able to recapture the temple. And what they sought to do was rededicate it. Now, part of the rededication was going to include lighting the menorah, the candlesticks. Well, you don't actually light the candlesticks, you light the lamps that go on the menorah, on the candlestick. And Israel didn't have enough oil to do that for more than a day. But they went ahead and just used the oil. And you say, well, why didn't they just go crunch some olives and make new oil? Well, that wasn't the right way to make the oil for the temple. You had to beat it out of the olives if it was going to be holy oil. And that's a process that takes about 7 or 8 days. And so Israel didn't have enough oil, and they were able to light the menorah anyway. And the oil wound up lasting the entire span until the pressed olive or the beet olives were able to give more oil. And so there's a lot of significance to celebrating Hanukkah. I spoke yesterday about the idea of God takes a little and makes a lot. But what I want to talk about today is the principle of God coming through darkness to bring his light. And that's a principle that's in Hanukkah, but it predates that. Go back to Psalm 30. So Psalm 30 is a psalm that was written for the dedication of the first temple. And within the framework of that first temple, it was recognized that God had done wonders for his people in bringing them out of darkness into light. That's the psalm that has a well-known verse, semi-well-known verse, that weeping lasts for a night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. And it's the idea that in the darkness of life, God is present with us, and God can bring light into darkness and sustain us with that light. And it's there in the Psalms, it's there in Hanukkah, it's there in the New Testament scriptures. Over and over and over, we read about God working with us in the darkness to bring us into light. So I don't know how your holidays are shaping up, and I don't know where your brain is right now. But if you're thinking about these things, instead of the commercial aspects of the holidays, let's start really focusing on important lessons we can learn about a spiritual walk with God through these holidays. And so the lesson for today is, no matter how dark today may seem to you, there is a God who brings light into darkness. And that's the God that we have. So let's look to him. I'll give you more video thoughts for the day tomorrow.